Nuggets and Suns. Suns lost by 16 to the Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. could not miss. All right. And Jokic, Jamal Murray. You got a good game from Bruce Brown as well. You think it's over for the Suns? Can the Suns come back and force Game 7? Or is this the end?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts for the Phoenix Suns?
It's bad.
It's bad. It's not looking good, guys.
I want to get a quick fact check. Booker is the only guy who seems like he really cares. DeAndre Ayton's gone. Jock Landale is not good enough to start in his replacement, in Ayton's replacement, but I don't think there's any shot DeAndre Ayton comes back next season. But KD also was nowhere to be found. I mean, I was watching the first, I was watching a little delayed, and I wanted to send a text, but I didn't want spoilers. It's like we're like 4 minutes in. I'm like, is KD? Am I looking away every time KD touches the ball? Is KD gonna get the ball in this game? So, yeah, KD needs to come back with a vengeance. I called. I think the next two games, Booker and KD are gonna LeBron and Kyrie it. And I mean, the series almost reminds me of the series with Dallas, where the Suns were up 3-2 actually in that series, and then Dallas blows them out in the next two. But the thing is, my gut wants the Suns, or thinks the Suns, sorry. My heart or my head is telling me Denver, because Phoenix can't do anything in Denver as far as making shots. They can't do anything. They shot 9 of 27 from downtown. That's 33%. They shot 43% from the field. I do think we'll see more Terrence Ross because he did a great job. 9 points, 3 threes, a steal, and a block. Played really good defense on Jamal Murray. He was just good rotations. And this is exactly what we said. Both of us said this, I think it was yesterday in our preview. It was like, if nobody's on the Suns team is stepping up outside of KD and Book, and we didn't even get KD last night, they won't win shit. And if Bruce Brown and PJ, as we're talking about, if they get it going, Bruce Brown had 25 points. He had 25 points. He shot 7-11 from the field, 2-4 from downtown. He had 25 points. He was up in KD's grill. They had the push and shove match. And then MPJ, as Nick came on here and said, I mean, he started right out. He had 14 points in the first quarter. He had double digits. So if that happens in Game 6, if it happens in Game 7, I don't think it'll happen in Game 6. I do think the Suns, regardless, win Game 6. But my head is all Denver Nuggets. I mean, it's Mike Malone is a great head coach. I really, really.
So do I agree.
And it sucks that they have never had great success. And if you're the 1 seed again, if you don't make the Western Conference Finals interesting, or God forbid, if you don't even get there, I feel worried about his future, even though I think he's a great coach. But
he'll be
great too.
Regardless of how the Suns season ends, Suns fans have to be at least happy that
you have Kevin Bleepin Durant.
Yeah, and Devin Booker.
Yeah,
that, you can trade Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton and probably be able to rebuild your team's bench around D-Book and Kevin Durant, which is probably the best duo in the NBA, scoring-wise.
Yeah. You got to figure out the big man, and you can tell they're missing a guy like JaVale McGee, who had the best backup center role of all time last season. They're missing him greatly right now.
Last year's JaVale. You mean?
Yeah. If this was last year, I'd start JaVale for Game 6.
Yeah, I mean, and I love Jock Landale, and Jock Landale's playing his goddamn heart out. And it's just that Jock Landale, Jock Landale's playing 16 minutes a night. That's what he's meant for, 16, 20 minutes a night. Jock's awesome. But, Jock can't do everything. Jock needs another guy. Like you said, if they had Jock and JaVale, this would be amazing, because you'd have JaVale for the defense, Jock, who tries on defense but can play some offense and do some other things.
Yeah, because if you start Jock over DeAndre, Ayton's done for the series if that happens.
Mentally, yeah.
With his mindset, there's no shot, even if he's coming off the bench, that they're going to be meaningful minutes. So it probably does you more harm than good. But I think one thing if the Suns can squeak out Game 6, they'll have a fighting shot, because Chris Paul should be back for Game 7, and they really needed Chris Paul last night. It was take-turn isolation basketball as it is, and it's When Book and KD are hitting their shots, it's cool, but when they're not and they're just forcing these shots up. However, after the Jokic and Bruce Brown shoving match, which I was very confusing, by the way, it was very confusing. KD isn't really, I mean, I think he barely touched Jokic, but Jokic flopped like a fish, like they do in Europe. But neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm still going Suns in 7, but my head's like, you're an idiot. The Nuggets could win in Game 6, but they need Chris Paul back. They need an orchestrator.
I agree. I think it'll definitely be interesting to see how it all plays out, because you look at the situation and you think, hey, maybe the Suns can come back, but I just think the Nuggets continue to show everyone that, hey, what's up? We're better. And I think it's definitely an interesting one to see as more and more time will pass. Like, if the Nuggets, it's like what we said about the Lakers, and then if they can finish this game, they get a longer break. All right. And I think it'll definitely be an interesting one with more and more time to see if potentially this is going to be, the way, if, the Nuggets choke or not. But again, I think it's the Nuggets will win this, easily. So let's move on to one more thing before we do our mock